What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. President Donald Trump makes several major announcements here today, including tariffs across the board here, which is going to increase prices here for all Americans here on several major goods. I'm going to give you all the details here in this video, and I'll show it to you here on the screen. A lot of people are shocked here on what is happening here, and I'm going to catch you up to date here on everything that was just announced here today. This is very big news, and we're going to go over the details here with you guys here in this video. Also in this video, see how the Trump administration just completely eliminated the staff at the LIHEAP Home Heating Energy Assistance for Americans. I'll give you the details here on that. And $2 billion has just been recalled for the education departments across the United States, and they're taking it back from schools. I'll give you the details on that as well. That's right. So you guys can let me know your thoughts on this here. We are live right now here on YouTube on the It's Jimmy Show. Let me know your thoughts here. Let me know where you're tuning in from. You can let me know your city, state, or even your country here, as we have people tuning in here from all around the globe. Don't forget to hit that like button here. And if you haven't yet, subscribe down below so you don't miss out on future videos, and hit the bell notification so you get notifications. Let me know if you can see and hear me. Type yes in the chat and take a look here. Okay, President Donald Trump announces sweeping new tariffs here, several of them here today. Let's go over some of the details here and get you caught up here on what just happened. Okay, President Donald Trump announcing details of his new tariff plan, which he billed as, quote, Liberation Day at the White House, as he aims to redraw economic agreements with U.S. trading partners. Although some of the details are still coming in, the European Union, Mexico, Canada, China, Japan, and South Korea have all pledged to respond to Trump's tariffs, potentially with tariffs of their own. The markets, stock markets, have been rattled with a lot of volatility. You guys can let me know your thoughts here on that. President Donald Trump today announced tariffs of at least 10% on practically all goods coming into the United States, which will raise prices here on practically all of those goods that Americans will pay for. Plus even higher rates on dozens of countries that have the highest trade deficits with the United States. The new policy represents a dramatic shift in global trade policy and economic policy. It's aimed at restoring U.S. manufacturing prowess and the balance of trade, but it threatens to escalate an emerging global trade war and raises prices for American consumers at a precarious time for the economy. Quote, Trump's policy will put in place a baseline of 10% tariffs on all goods from all countries except those compliant with USMCA free trade agreement between Mexico, Canada, and United States. Non-compliant goods will continue to be charged at 25% tariffs. Importers of goods of other nations will begin paying the baseline 10% tariff on Saturday at 12:01 Eastern Time. A group of about 60 or so countries, which senior Trump administration's officials labeled the worst offenders, will be charged a tariff at half the rate they charge the United States. Those reciprocal tariffs will go into effect on April 9th at 12:01 Eastern Time. So, in addition to this, the Trump administration has announced car tariffs starting on Thursday on auto parts as well for May 3rd. This is a 25% auto tariff for global cars and truck tariffs that will take effect on Thursday, and the car duties on automotive parts imports that will be launched on May 3rd that will also raise the prices on domestic cars because of car parts. Yeah, so you guys can let me know your thoughts on this. Quote, car prices will surge by thousands of dollars because of Trump's tariffs. It'll happen before you expect it. Get ready to pay more for your next car. Auto prices in the United States will start to rise very soon, perhaps within the next few weeks, because of the President Donald Trump 25% tariffs on imported cars and car parts, which will affect pretty much all cars, including those produced in the United States, that will go into effect on April 3rd. A move that will raise the cost of producing all cars sold in the United States and imports, even those built in American factories, by thousands of dollars each. Those additional costs will rapidly lift car prices when the tariffs go into effect, which is essentially at midnight. Previous plans for tariffs had been paused or postponed twice, but now will go into effect. Quote, it is going to be expensive, said Ivan Drury, director of insights at Edmunds.com. He said it will be an unpleasant sticker shock that could come much sooner than most people realize, even before some of the cars that will now cost more to produce arrive at their local dealerships. It's too soon to tell how much, but it'll be a couple of thousands of dollars, if not more. And automakers won't necessarily raise their wholesale prices, which are paid by dealers, by the full cost of the tariffs, but there are other ways that they will pass on their costs to car buyers. They can simply remove some of the incentives that are quite lucrative as well. If automakers drop an offer for car loans at a subsidized 1.9% interest rate, as an example, it will reduce their costs, but raise the cost to car buyers by $6,000 to $7,000. Drury said, who's from Edmunds. So, he's a, non-biased expert there. So this is one way that car makers can help recoup their cost of these tariffs that they'll be forced to pay. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section. Do you think this is good for America or bad for America? If you think this is good for America, type yes. If you think this is bad for Americans, type no. The theory in this is that ultimately, in the long run, this will help to bring jobs back to America. But in the short run, all these prices are going to go up almost immediately. And that's what a lot of people, including economists and experts on this, fear. But it's not just that. We're also seeing tariffs across the board. Like I said, at least 10% on anything coming into the United States. Trump administration also added a 25% tariff onto imported beer and aluminum can imports. So any aluminum can and imported beer. So any aluminum can that comes into the United States will now get a 25% tariff, and imported beer. So you can see aluminum cans are just literally going to raise the price of food, because aluminum cans are a lot of different. Think about how many cans are in food. Literally, there's so many foods that are in aluminum cans, right? This is going to affect all sorts of different food. In addition to this, Trump administration cancels program that paid Wisconsin farmers to grow food pantries. I'll get to education here in a second. $2 billion in federal education cuts. I'll get to that here in a second. That's a big one here. Trump administration cancels program that paid Wisconsin farmers to grow food pantries. Wisconsin Local Food Purchase Assistance Program, which paid farmers to provide food to local food banks, has just been completely terminated by the USDA. This is part of the, government cuts that are going on. And there's a lot more government cuts that are just continuing here as part of, I guess, DOE's just cutting, or government cuts. There's just a lot of government cuts that are just happening here. The USDA stated that the program no longer aligns with its priority and has just been completely cut. In addition to this, the USDA, $615,000 in food deliveries to the Hunger Task Force has also just been canceled after USDA funding cuts. So, Hunger Task Force food deliveries cut as well, gone. So just completely gone as well. $2 billion in federal education cuts for the whole United States. State-by-state map shows who was hit hardest. From what I understand on this one, it's a recall of money that wasn't spent from the pandemic. So, this is also being recalled from the Trump administration. So, they're just taking money back, and they released a statement that the emergency brought over from the pandemic is over, and they're taking $2 billion back from schools across the country. The 10 most impacted states are as follows: Pennsylvania, Texas, Maryland, New York, Florida, Ohio, Tennessee, Mississippi, Massachusetts, and New Jersey. So $2 billion from schools gone. Yeah. In addition to this, the entire staff responsible for utility assistance included in the HHS is gone. They eliminated the entire department. Those who work closely with the low-income in Home Energy Assistance Program now fear for its future. The Trump administration on Tuesday eliminated the entire staff for the federal program that helps low-income households pay utility bills. The staff of 10 employees accounted only for a small fraction of the 10,000 layoffs. 10,000 layoffs, guys, in the Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s purge of the Department of Health and Human Services. But those who worked closely with the, this is LIHEAP, LIHEAP program, now fear for its future. Ultimately, I believe the program will crumble from within without the federal office there to manage it, said Andrew Germain, who was the Director of Fiscal Operations and Accountability for the Administration for Children and Families for the HHS division that leads dozens of programs from welfare assistance to child abuse. Germain and his team were responsible for conducting oversight and program technical assistance to such community services, including LIHEAP. So, LIHEAP is widely seen as a lifeline for millions of low-income households struggling to cover from home heating and cooling costs. So, Congress largely has not fulfilled those requests for more funding, limiting the extent of LIHEAP aid. Last year, the program's allocation was slashed to $4.1 billion from $6.1 billion the previous year, and now it looks like all the employees there have been laid off by the Trump administration. So, let me know your thoughts on this, and I will keep you up to date here on critical information you need to know on a daily basis. So if you haven't yet, subscribe down below. Click the bell icon so you don't miss out on future videos, and help me reach 500,000 subscribers. And also share this video with anybody that needs to hear this information. Click here to see how DOGE says more money is coming for Social Security because of their cuts. Or click here to see how Trump can pass stimulus checks by executive order. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you.